tell me that you love.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another video. Chris Paul just got traded to the Rockets, and if you guys don't know, that's my favorite player, so I had to make this video. I had to react to this. Now my homie Carlos hit me up. I was sleeping, I didn't even know what was going on, and he hit me up and sent me a picture of like this trade. It was Chris Paul for Patrick Beverley, Sam Dekker, and Lou Williams, and I believe in 2018 pick. I'm not too sure on that, but oh man, this is crazy. So yeah, Chris Paul's my favorite player, so I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I feel like a healthy Clippers team with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan and all that would be better than Chris Paul on the Rockets. However, like I said, it's a healthy Clippers team, and that never happens. That's number one. Number two, Blake Griffin said flat out that he didn't want to play with Chris Paul, so it makes it hard for me to want Chris Paul to go back to a team where, you know, the other superstar, or I should say star on the team, doesn't even want to play with him. There's even a chance that Blake Griffin might not even sign with the Clippers. So the way I see it, if Chris Paul, because he opted in and then got traded, so if he got his money, if he made his 200 million or however much he was gonna make, it was a lot of money, but if he ended up getting that money, then yeah, it's a great move because he got the money and he's in a better position, because this Rockets team is gonna be better than the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers just couldn't get it together. They were always, you know, they were never healthy. It was a mess. So this Rockets team, I know for a fact, is gonna be better. I believe if, you know, now that LaMarcus Aldridge might be heading out of San Antonio, I think this Rockets team might be able to push for that second seed. Not too sure though. I still pick the Spurs over them. But here's the thing: if you're Chris Paul and you want to win, there's really not much you can do. The only options you really have are the Spurs, and they're still not as good as the Warriors. Or you can somehow have a trade and go play with your best friend in Cleveland, but I don't see any way they can make a trade unless they give out Kyrie Irving, who's a lot younger than Chris Paul. And although obviously Chris Paul's my favorite player and I like him a lot more, if you're Cleveland, why would you give somebody so young for somebody that's getting up there in age? It just doesn't make sense. So it obviously wasn't gonna happen, and those are the only two teams that can really challenge Golden State, you know, the Cavs and the Spurs. But they're, you know, the Spurs was the only realistic one, and they're still not as good as Golden State. So, you know, if he got his money, if he got to his 200 million, then it was a great move. The big thing, the most important thing in my opinion, is that the fact that James Harden himself wanted to play with Chris Paul. It's not like, you know, the organization, the Rockets, said, oh, you know, give me Chris Paul just because Chris Paul is a superstar. You know, they're not gonna affect each other's game. I know a lot of people see it and they're like, oh, Chris Paul likes to dribble the ball and he likes to handle the ball for the most part. James Harden does the same exact thing, so it's not gonna work. Well, that's not the case. It is gonna work. Now, if they didn't want to play together, then yeah, there's a chance that it might not work. But they want to play together, so you know, they're superstars and they want to help each other out. So I'm 100% sure they're gonna make it work, and it's gonna be super exciting. They're gonna be the best backcourt in the NBA, obviously up there with Clay and Steph, and they're gonna get to the playoffs. They're gonna be either the third or maybe second seed. I'm not a huge fan of this run and gun offense that Mike D'Antoni implemented. I like a little bit of defense, but it's whatever, you know, as long as you're getting the W's, that, you know, whatever works. The funny thing is, I remember the Clippers were talking about trading DeAndre Jordan. The first thing I said to my friends was, Chris Paul is not coming back. The reason I knew that he was not gonna go back to the Clippers was because I don't see why it will benefit the Clippers to trade DeAndre Jordan unless they're restarting the whole roster. And the only way they're gonna restart the whole roster if Chris Paul doesn't go back to them. So that just made sense, and I've been saying that Chris Paul is not going back. However, I did think that he was gonna go to the Spurs. That was my prediction, and also what I was hoping for as a Chris Paul fan. But I'm excited to see what happens. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know down below what do you guys think of this trade. Peace out, guys. Catch you guys on the next one.